Oh,
Ooh.
Well, that's fun.
that's a new thing.
I don't know if anyone watching this will be able to hear that or if it was just us, but the recording's in progress now.
We were a little shocked. Sorry for the face, but we had someone join us.
I was thinking about as I was driving into work today, I was like, I always start these off and I seem surprised that I'm here. Like, I'm surprised that we're on recording this. I'm surprised that I'm in my office doing this. I don't know why I'm surprised. But then, ironically, we genuinely were surprised. So it's kind of funny to think that.
We do plan this.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are shocked, but we do plan this.
Ray is not surprised that we're in her house right now in her home.
Right.
She agreed to this. We
did schedule it.
Yes.
She's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, fun times. So we're here. Ray's already gotten a flavor of our pre-show chat where I said it's Monday. We're a little punchy, so we'll see how this goes. But thank you so much for joining us, Ray. Do you want to just quick introduce yourself of like, where do you go to school? What grade are you in? Do you have a job, hobbies, activities? Just kind of tell us about who you are.
Yeah, I'm Ray. I go to UST St. Thomas, and I will be a sophomore in the fall, and I'm a civil engineering major. And this summer, I am just doing research with a professor, and yeah.
Just doing research. I mean,
no big deal. I think when
I'm pretty sure it's a big deal.
Yeah, I was going into my sophomore year just like babysitting over the summer to get enough money to like go to the movies with my friends. So
right.
Kind of a big deal. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, so this is my first time meeting Ray. I've seen your photo obviously from your badge and in our volunteer system, but Joni had the pleasure of I'm assuming you interviewed Ray. I don't recall interviewing. So you interviewed Ray and kind of did the whole onboarding process with her. So we talked to Ray and said, hey, can we talk to you more about what it's like to be a new volunteer? Just what that process was like for you.
Yeah.
This could be helpful for someone who maybe their son or daughter or granddaughter or neighbor or a family friend is thinking about volunteering with us. And this might be something helpful for them. So Joni, do you want to take it away with questions and you can kind of
we can talk about start the process? Out. Yeah. I mean, let's just start out. How did you think the process was? Easy, hard? I mean, we know it's long, but just give us your experience.
Yeah, for me personally, it was, like you said, a little long, but it was worth it because I think it's checking all the right boxes, making sure that that person is committed and, wants to be there for the right reasons. And for me, that made it better and, made me feel like, yes, like this is worth it. This is something that I need to do. And yeah.
Tell everyone that's watching what area that you volunteer in at the hospital.
Yeah, I'm a nurse attendant / server.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the onboarding process, did we start before COVID and then pick up, or where were you in the process when we paused our program?
Yeah, so I applied pre-COVID for the volunteer position, but then after COVID, like I think a year later, you reached out.
Right? It probably was. So Ray was one of those volunteers that were in limbo. Yeah. So that had applied and then COVID hit. So we shut down the process. And so it took us some time to figure out how we were going to get people out of that limbo stage and actually volunteering in the hospital. So yours took longer than normal, but when we reopened the program, we're hoping to reopen in August, that people won't be waiting a year to be contacted again from me. But so what do you like about being a volunteer here at Maple Grove?
I really like that I get to organize, and because that's one of my biggest things, I guess. I really like organizing things. I like making sure, everything is sorted and, it's put a certain way. And this was just like the perfect position because I don't like blood. I don't like going near it. So I was a little hesitant that, maybe I would have to do that, but none of that. And it was just such a perfect position for me personally.
So we have a lot of volunteers that say that, don't we, Jennifer?
Yeah.
A lot of volunteers that love to organize,
Mm-hmm.
I must say.
I don't know who these people are, what makes them tick,
I
because
know.
that's not me. So
I know. We love it because we're like, we know where you need to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, Ray, about the connection between wanting to volunteer in a healthcare setting and what you're going to school for right now. Because maybe it's just because I really need more caffeine today. I'm not seeing the direct connection there, because we get a lot of people that say, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a PA. I want to go to nursing school. That makes sense to me. So tell me why you wanted to volunteer in healthcare.
Yeah, so my senior year of high school, I took AP Bio because I had originally wanted to go into biomed engineering, but I wanted to do something with bio. I knew that, and I'm minoring in it actually. So I just wanted to stay intact with that. And Maple Grove Hospital, I think I applied right before, right before COVID, and before AP exams and things like that, and that did make me rethink, my major and everything. So I did switch from biomed to civil engineering, but I still wanted to do something in bio.
That's awesome. I'm glad people like you exist, because that is not, I'm finding that Ray and I are not very similar in that the engineering or, medical healthcare, as well as organizing things. So thank you. I'm so glad that you are here and a part of our program, because we need people like you. So, and I'm just curious. So I'm looking at, so you were a high school senior when you applied originally. I'm looking at, I have my badge from when I was a junior volunteer at a hospital, and I have it hanging here in my office. And I remember just being like super nervous when I filled out the application, and like nervous in a good way, like excited, wanting to do this, but still nervous. Like, what was that like for you filling out that application online?
Yeah, so I actually had one of my friends help me who actually volunteered at the hospital. She was the NHS president, National Honor Society president, and I asked her, I was looking for volunteer opportunities. She guided me because she volunteered there, and she was like, it is such a great place. You're able to, find the area or specialty you want to work in, and it's easygoing. And so she sent me the link, and I applied, and yeah.
I think a lot of our high school students come in through friends. I hear that quite often. Well, my friend volunteers here. She's, she loves it here. So that's great. And then now you're going into your sophomore year of college.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So are you going to be on
go ahead.
campus, or are you doing distance learning next year or this next school year?
It's because I have to take a lot of STEM labs. So for me, it's all in person, but I know some of my friends have like online classes, which is, so it's different, I guess, for everyone.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense too, because it's hard to do a lab virtually. I mean, you can, but it's not the same. So
Right.
Sorry, Joni, I cut you off.
No, I was going to ask the same thing as far as like fitting it into your busy schedule of being a college student. How are you juggling that? And just any advice to our college age volunteers that, how are you fitting it in, and is it enjoyable, and is it worthwhile? That kind of a thing.
Yeah, I again love organization, so I always have a calendar ready, and I always prep the week so that I don't stress, like throughout the week, oh, what do I need to do today, or what do I need to do tomorrow, and just get stuff in, like homework, especially. I think, especially with labs, it can be really easy for them to pile up and just procrastinate, which in the past I've done, but I don't recommend. So yeah, develop like a good calendar system, I think, is like the best option that has helped me do well in any of my classes.
We've also heard too that it's nice. It's kind of like a disconnect of like your busy life. And it's like you love to organize, you like to focus on these things. So now I know my task, and I can go here and I can just be away from my hectic life for 2 hours, 3 hours. a week, and it's relaxing and enjoyable. And
Yeah, I definitely agree. The last 2 times that I volunteered, it's just been such like an amazing experience because I'm not thinking about, oh, what assignment do I have tomorrow, or what classes do I have to be ready for. It's just like a relaxing time for me.
so do you find that you are connecting with staff much in your role, or is it pretty independent, or how would you describe your role?
Um, I think it's independent, and I really like it that way too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm curious to know, like, if staff does interact with the nurse server attendants much, or if you're just kind of in doing your job, focusing on that, or if they're asking you to help out in different areas.
Yeah, they're super sweet. Like if they see me struggling with the cart, they'll offer to like help or like open the door, which I think is really sweet. But yeah, overall,
Yeah, Ray is very little and she has to maneuver a very big cart.
It is a really big cart. It would be difficult for me, Ray, and I don't know how tall you are, but I'm pretty tall, and that's a big cart. And we have high schoolers pushing it around. I don't know why we made that decision, but
how tall are you, Ray?
5'3".
Yeah, you're little. I was like, yeah, she's little. She maneuvers that big cart.
So have you also noticed your biceps
right
getting a workout? So you get a workout.
Effect. Yeah, there you go.
There.
Bonus. Bonus number 2 for volunteering.
When we see a volunteer going down the hallway doing lunges behind that cart, I'll know it's Ray because she's getting a full body workout.
Right.
So, oh, that's
great.
funny.
So yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
I'm sorry. I realized, so you did orientation essentially virtually from home. You kind of went through the orientation packet and PowerPoint on your own. What was that experience like? Because that's not the norm either. Normally we have folks come in and we do a classroom type setting with them. Was it kind of easy to navigate, or were you like, man, I just hope I learn more stuff when I'm on site? Because it's a lot of information to take in. Lot. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture of high school Jenny, and okay, she wouldn't have done well with that. That would have been overwhelming. But what was that like for you?
Yeah, so I had to space it out in a couple of weeks to make sure that I understand the policies and everything important details so that, I don't skim over it just to get it done. Mm-hmm. So I did go back and forth. I did miss a couple of documents, but I think it was such a nice transition because it helped me prepare for what to expect, in a workplace setting, and what to dress as, or what to dress, because I wasn't really sure like if it was formal, casual, and like what I would be doing, and it had like a nice list of what I should expect, and I thought that was nicer than doing it in person maybe.
Oh, really? You enjoyed that more because I feel very guilty sending out that email with 15 hours of attachment reading to do in the attachments, that I'm like, oh, please don't back away from this challenge. But I often wonder if when we go back, if we have to do some sort of I don't know, just hybrid orientation, like maybe offer some in person, but then also some virtually. Mm-hmm. Maybe people are liking that too. Maybe our younger population are liking that as better. So that's good feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, that is good feedback, because there are hospitals that do it that way, that they have an online version, but if you want, you can sign up for an in-person orientation, and everybody learns differently and has a different comfort level. So that's actually really good feedback to hear that, because we look at the onboarding process and the changes that are different, and maybe this is just me, maybe it's not you, Joni, but in a little bit of a negative light, because it's change. So therefore, your brain is like, change, bad, change is not a good thing. But maybe there are things that it's okay that they changed. And for some people, it makes a lot of sense that way. So that's good for us to remember. So,
yeah. I mean, again, I just feel guilty because I feel like if I can see your face and giving you this context, like understanding if you are, understanding it, or if you need have more questions, or, just like in person going through that, and then you can raise your hand. I always feel like I'm missing that from our in-person orientation. So that's why I feel just like a little guilty, like it just doesn't feel as personable to me. But again, that's just how I learn. So not everyone's like that.
Well, awesome. Well, okay. So Ray, if someone's on the fence about, they're thinking about applying to volunteer, obviously once our application's reopened, not yet, but they're thinking about it. They've got some time to think about it. And they're kind of on the fence and unsure, what would you tell them? What would you say to them?
I would definitely say that this is 100% worth it, especially if, you're looking to help, especially during COVID, and, hoping to make an impact, not just in your community, but, if you're not even from Maple Grove, you can still, volunteer. And you don't, like, I know a lot of my friends are scared to like volunteer in person because it's, like, you have to commit to like every single day, they think, but you can, I guess for like schedules, like I think it's really nice that you have the option to, adjust your schedule to however many times you can do it in a month or a week. And yeah, overall, I think if you're in it for like the right reasons, if you really want to volunteer and help the community, I think it's a good opportunity.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell people we didn't pay her anything to say these kind of things. So
I mean, we kind of guaranteed that she'd be a YouTube superstar, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Because
we might have to retract.
Yeah. 27 people watching the last video. I mean, that's the definition of viral right there.
Right,
so
right.
Get ready, Ray. Your life's about to change.
Yep.
So it was nice knowing you when.
We knew you in the beginning. Let us know.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ray. It was really nice to meet you, by the way. I look forward to meeting you in person sometime.
Yes, it was really nice to meet you guys too.
Again. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Bye.